And yet this is not quite the life raft that we dreamers were hoping for, not by a long shot. Fernanda Duran, the communications manager at the pro-migrant organization CASA, told the New York Times that this is the first ray of hope that these dreamers have had in a very long time. This much is true. The ruling from Judge Bates is the first hopeful sign that many dreamers, especially teenagers currently graduating from high school and aging into the program, have experienced since Congress failed to attach immigration measures to any legislative vehicle that would have addressed Trump's manufactured crisis. Bates, however, stayed his ruling and gave the federal government 90 days to resubmit its reasoning for terminating the DACA program. It's hard to envision how the administration could justify a rational policy basis for ending DACA beyond racial animus, a point made by U.S. District Court Judge Nicholas Garaufis in March. One might reasonably infer that a candidate who makes overtly bigoted statements on the campaign trail might be more likely to engage in similarly bigoted action in office. But on Thursday, Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen said during a round of questioning at a hearing in the U.S. House that the administration will respond to the judge's request. This means the Trump administration will strike back with force in an attempt to eliminate DACA once and for all. So much for treating dreamers like me with heart, Mr. President. What we need right now is bold and decisive action. No more stalling, because we all know how this story ends if dreamers are not given a chance to adjust their immigration status, with their swift and merciless deportations. Right now, a bipartisan group of lawmakers in the House is attempting to force a vote on dreamer legislation using a strategy that involves invoking an obscure rule known as the Queen of the Hill. But for this strategy to work, Republicans will have to buck their spineless and do-nothing Speaker, Paul Ryan, and put actual skin in the game. The courts have also granted Trump a unique opportunity, a real chance to undo this entire mess and re-establish a popular program that enables dreamers to continue their educations and to excel in their respective fields of study. We have dreamers who are realtors, teachers, and future doctors. Are these the bad people we want to deport from our country? For someone who can lie through his teeth and say that Republicans want to fix DACA far more than the Democrats do and later follow it up with no more DACA deal, Trump truly has his priorities out of order. That might be why he is asking candidates seeking his endorsement about their stance on DACA, creating yet another way for him to either push or pull the idea that dreamers should get to stay or be deported. Unsurprisingly, Trump has a record of shifting his positions based on the way the wind is blowing or who spoke to him last. If Trump truly wants to handle his self-made DACA crisis with heart, then he would allow Bates' order to go into effect and let Congress pass dreamer-specific legislation that is fair and balanced and won't use people's lives as bargaining chips for a racist immigration agenda. Trump has a choice to make. Does he listen to voters all across America, even in red states, who support protections for young immigrants brought to the country as children? Or does he continue down the nativist path that right-wing extremists, like his senior advisor Stephen Miller, have carved out for him? When it comes to showing true leadership, and, dare I say compassion, this is a rare moment for the Trump administration to undo one of its harmful acts. Otherwise, the president's real sentiments will be clear: dreamers are subhuman in his eyes, and their deportation is not a question of if, but when. Juan Escalante is an immigrant advocate, an online strategist who has been fighting for the DREAM Act and pro-immigration policies at all levels of government for the past 10 years.